coleslaw, mashed potatoes, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh, enjoy!
Ever wondered how a small-town diner soared to become a global fried chicken sensation? Today, we're unraveling the delicious success story of a global icon in fast food, how KFC went from rags to riches. Join us on a finger-licking journey through Colonel Sanders' humble beginnings, the secret recipe, and the savvy business moves that transformed a small-town diner into a global fried chicken empire. From rags to riches, we'll explore the recipe for KFC's success. Let's savor the flavorful history of KFC together. What was Colonel Sanders' early life like? How did his entrepreneurial journey begin? His father died at a young age, so his mother had to work multiple jobs to provide for Harland and his siblings. This lower-middle-class upbringing meant Sanders took on odd jobs from age 10 to support the family. As a child, he held jobs as a farmhand, railroad fireman, insurance salesman, and aspiring lawyer. However, Sanders found his true calling only in his 40s when he opened a roadside restaurant during the Great Depression. In 1930, a 40-year-old Sanders took over a shell-filling station in Corbin, Kentucky, after the owner failed to pay his mortgage. He converted a small part of it into a modest restaurant serving home-style Southern favorites. Sanders had no formal culinary training, but leveraged his mother's recipes of pan-fried chicken and country staples like biscuits and vegetables. His charming hospitality and cooking skills steadily grew a loyal customer base across the 1930s. This humble gas station diner marked the origin point for Sanders' future KFC empire. What was the big breakthrough moment that propelled Sanders' success in the restaurant business? In the late 1930s, Harland Sanders was nearing 50 years old and had spent nearly a decade honing his skills as a restaurateur. His gas station diner in Corbin, Kentucky, had built a steady clientele thanks to Sanders' charming hospitality and tasty home-style cooking. However, Sanders knew he needed a true signature dish to take his little roadside eatery to the next level. His breakthrough came in 1939, when, after years of experimentation, Sanders perfected his legendary recipe for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sanders' goal was to develop a fried chicken recipe that was uniquely flavorful with a crisp, thin batter coating. He tried endless combinations of flour, seasonings, and frying methods to get the ideal balance of textures and taste. Sanders would spend days tediously testing new herb and spice mixtures to combine with the chicken and batter. Some nights after the restaurant closed, he would fry up chicken trial runs in his kitchen to fine-tune proportions. Finally, one day, Sanders struck gold. His complex blend of 11 secret herbs and spices resulted in a fried chicken with a distinctive peppery flavor and robust aroma, yet a delicate crunchy crust. Sanders knew immediately he had created something special. This wasn't merely fried chicken, it was a transcendent taste experience unlike anything else. Word quickly spread about the distinctive flavor of Sanders' fried chicken cooked under pressure in pure peanut oil. Customers who stopped by the unassuming Corbin diner for a meal were blown away by this deceptively simple but utterly addictive dish. Sanders' little restaurant was soon attracting visitors from nearby towns and counties who had heard rumors about this magical fried chicken. Long lines began forming outside as locals, traveling salespeople, and even Kentucky governors frequented the diner to sample Sanders' increasingly famous chicken recipe. The humble gas station restaurant became a sensation seemingly overnight. By 1941, Sanders had redesigned his entire menu around fried chicken and moved operations to a larger building across the street to handle the flood of eager customers. Sanders realized the enormous potential of his chicken recipe to attract diners. He dubbed it Kentucky Fried Chicken to highlight its regional roots. To generate more buzz, Sanders adopted the persona of Colonel Harland Sanders and crafted his iconic Southern gentleman image, replete with white suits, black string ties, and a Kentucky Colonel title. Sanders cultivated an aura of mystique around his secret 11 herbs and spices recipe. Through clever marketing, he made his chicken the star attraction rather than just the restaurant itself. How did Sanders scale up from one restaurant to a national chain? What was his franchising model? The huge popularity of his secret recipe chicken gave Sanders the idea of expanding through franchising the concept. In 1952, at age 62, he hit the road with the vision of creating the first national fried chicken restaurant chain. Sanders sold franchises of his restaurant to entrepreneurs across America who paid an upfront fee to use his signature chicken recipe. Franchisees bought ingredients from Sanders before opening their independent diners using his cooking process under the name Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sanders created the first KFC franchise in Salt Lake City in 1952 based on his operating system of frying chicken under pressure in pre-mixed herbs spices. By 1964, there were over 600 KFC franchises nationwide thanks to Sanders' relentless energy, marketing, and commitment to quality control. His initial $105 KFC franchise fee was very profitable, bringing Sanders a 4-cent royalty on every chicken sold. Sanders' excellent franchising model fueled steady expansion across America throughout the 1960s, establishing Kentucky Fried Chicken as a prominent national brand. Why did Sanders first sell KFC in 1964? How did the company evolve after being sold? By 1964, a 74-year-old Sanders had established over 600 franchised locations across the U.S. However, he lacked the managerial experience to oversee complex company operations as an independent founder-owner. So, Sanders sold KFC to a pair of entrepreneurial businesspeople who were eager to scale it up further. In 1964, Sanders sold KFC for $2 million to John Y. Brown Jr. and business partner Jack Massey. Brown was a young upstart eager to expand KFC into a much bigger company through more aggressive franchising, branding, and chemically stabilized supplies to ensure food quality control. Under Brown's leadership in the 1960s and 1970s, KFC experienced rapid growth as additional franchisees joined the system and the brand went international. From around 600 units, KFC expanded to over 3,500 domestic and international restaurants by the early 1970s, proving Brown's corporate stewardship impactful. What was Sanders' later association with KFC? How did he continue being involved with the company? While no longer involved in operations, Colonel Sanders remained closely tied to KFC as a prominent brand ambassador and symbol of the company. As part of the 1964 sale deal, Sanders retained control over KFC's Canadian franchises, which continued to do well. He also stayed on as the company's paid goodwill ambassador, traveling widely. Sanders starred in numerous TV ads and public events to sustain KFC's growth in the 1970s and 1980s. If you found this exploration into KFC's flavorful history as delightful as we did, don't forget to hit that like button below and subscribe for more mouth-watering insights into the world of iconic brands. Your support keeps us hungry for more fascinating stories. Share your thoughts on KFC's rise in the comments and stay tuned for more savory adventures. Until our next culinary exploration, let's keep the flavors alive.